Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot and welcome to your general readings for the sign in the title below because it's a bulk introduction for the supermoon, full moon in Scorpio on the 26th or 27th of month we're in, April, for wherever you are in the world. Here in Britain it's on the 27th, in America it's mainly on the 26th. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the astrology of this because I'll be live streaming 6 p.m. UK time, so 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on YouTube with astrologer David Fisher. We'll go through the astrology then. As ever, general reading rules apply. Timing is not absolute. This is an interesting full moon. I think I tend to look at these readings as looking over the lunar cycle or half lunar cycle, if you know what I mean, from full moon to full moon, rather than new to new. So we'll see how long that they last. You should hopefully pick up the energies from them. If someone else appears in the readings, roles can get reversed. Doesn't very often happen in the spread that I'm using. But as I say, timing is far from absolute is the main point here. So, as ever, I would like you to hit that like button if you like the reading, or if you like the video even. No, the reading might not be so hot. And feel free to subscribe to the channel while you're here because it really does help. I think that's it for my housekeeping. The reason I do a bulk introduction with a timestamp in the description below so that you can fast forward to the reading, don't do it yet, is I would like to watch your sun, your moon and your rising. And you don't need to listen to me waffle 3 times over. You know what I mean? So there is a timestamp below if you're wanting to fast forward if this is your second or third time round. And there is a link to the Facebook page for this channel where I post these videos, obviously, because I do not trust YouTube notifications. But I also post the weather report style astrology YouTube videos that I watch, so you can learn along with me, and I try to make it a bit of a one-stop shop. So anyway, I think that's everything. Oh yeah, if you don't know your moon or your rising sign, there's a link down there for a free, there's 2 links, free birth charts, AstroSeek or Cafe Astrology. I'm now tending more towards using the AstroSeek just because I know what I'm doing a little bit more, and there's so much you can get the chart to be presented the way you want it to be. So this full moon, it's an interesting one. It's ruled by the angel Jeliel. 7 degrees Scorpio is ruled by the angel Jeliel, who represents recapturing the spark and love and wisdom. Now that recapturing the spark could mean the passion for a project, a field of research, or a person, you know, so there is that whole romantic element to it. There is a lot of, if you look into the positions of the planets and the degrees that they're holding and the degree symbols and what have you, there is a lot of sexual energy in this full moon, which figures with us just coming off the back of that Venus-Uranus conjunction, although again, that's about more than just relationships and sex lives. But what I've also found is interesting is the relationship to other new moons. Being in Scorpio, it represents transformation. Now, the moon, if my notes are correct, is in its fall in Scorpio anyway. But it's also, being in Scorpio, traditionally ruled by Mars. And Mars is just gone into Cancer. So the moon and Mars are in mutual reception. They're amping each other up. So I think there's any transformations that are begun more under or that are ongoing, I think it would be an even better way to put it, will have that little bit extra oomph. Now, Scorpio under modern rulership is ruled by Pluto. As we know, Pluto's still in Capricorn. But 7 degrees Scorpio is the site of the Pluto of harmonic convergence, which, if you know your hippie woo-woo, then that was a big event in the late, oh, I didn't write the date down, 87, 88, where there was this opening of all new energies coming onto the planet. So I think it's quite significant where this full moon is potentially giving us a chance to actually use those energies now. We've had plenty enough time since the 80s, late 80s, to assimilate to them. It's about time we use them. And also, the other thing I noticed is that it's on Aleister Crowley's Jupiter. Now, there was something else that was like really hocus pocusy with this full moon. Now, I didn't write it down. I've forgotten what it was. But I would imagine this full moon would be great for full moon rituals. However, watch every single astrology forecast video I've posted on that YouTube page first. Do your research. Make sure that what you would be magically working towards, creatively visualizing, sat with a candle, what have you, is in line with the astrological energies that are there. Because I notice the closer we get to the full moon, the astrologers' descriptions of this full moon are getting nicer and nicer. And there are some beautiful aspects to it. But there are also some quite traumatic aspects as well. So be careful what you ask for, because you might just get it. I think it's the, sometimes the genie is best left in the bottle. That's something that I think you really need to pay some attention to. Myself, I'm not planning any hocus pocus for the full moon this time. I'm just going to sit and let, I suppose the phrase would be trust the process. Allow the transformation energies to unfurl. Because for me, I was alive during harmonic convergence. So for me, this is really, really important. And it being on Aleister Crowley's Jupiter makes me think that magic at this time has a high chance of getting bigger. But it's Crowley, it's double-edged. Do you know what I mean? So you be very, very careful what you ask for. Now, I've also been reading a lot about Franz Barden and the entities he calls the degree heads, who are entities that inhabit each individual degree of the zodiac and can be evoked just like any spiritual entity or magical entity can be evoked, if you know about your evocation. Now, this one is, let me pronounce it correctly, Amelie. Now, Amelie, here's the description, protects man against all infectious diseases and causes him to look after himself so that he is at any time able to resist infection. If karmic reasons make it necessary, or if it lies in one's fate, this head, i.e. the entity Amelie, will not prevent an infection. Amelie teaches the magician many means of protection against the most diverse types of infectious diseases from the magical point of view. Since there exists also the possibility of mental or astral influences, Amelie also instructs the magician in this respect. He teaches him how to protect himself after having been made acquainted with special magical practices against negative astral influences and against influences of negative beings. So if you are going to try any hocus pocus with this full moon, talking to Amelie may not be a bad idea, given the situation of the world at the moment. Negative astral influences, well, let's use the by now tiresome term of fake news. We've already seen what damage fake news can do. And infectious diseases. I wonder what's going on in the world that could relate to that. But apparently I can't say such things on YouTube. So I won't mention even the V word, never mind the C word. Not that it makes the slightest bit of difference to me anyway, because is I am not yet monetized. But you know, I'd like people to see the readings that follow this. Um, Now that is pretty much all that I'm wanting to talk about with the new moon, full moon. Apart from new moon, yes. Now, Scorpio transformation. And there was an aspect between the last new moon, the Aries new moon, and Pluto, which was instigating transformation energies. You know what I was saying about the transformation with the harmonic convergence Pluto? There's that sense of revealing, unveiling, that deeper secrets, deeper truths, deeper realities, stripping things away. Scorpio is also the sign of death and transformation. It is the death card in the tarot. So, as I say, the death card in the tarot is not scary because if you get a job, it's the death of poverty. If you get a relationship, it's a death of loneliness. You know, so death is not necessarily bad, but you're watching a tarot reading anyway. So, apart from I'm not using tarot this, well, I am a bit. So you know this already. But there was transformation that was triggered by that Aries new moon. Not even triggered as in the seed was sown, but triggered as in, right, here is the energy to start it. Here, we seem to be clearing all the crap out that we found that's in the way of this transformation. It's like deciding to redecorate your kitchen and then you open a cupboard and find that you hadn't emptied it after all, and you need to empty this cupboard before you can do the next bit of work. So this full moon promises to be really, really useful and dramatic. Like I say, we're just coming off that Venus-Uranus conjunction, so I think that may be adding a little bit of spice into our lives one way or another. So, with no further ado, I don't think I've got anything more to add, and I'm trying to cut down these intros since we're doing the live streams. Yeah, the live stream may be shorter. I've said that already, haven't I? So, like, share, subscribe, and I'll bring up your cards. Okay, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, whichever. As you may know if you've watched these Gods at Play readings before, this top row represents the masks worn by the Archons as they try to repress you and keep you separate from the divine even, or both. And this bottom row represents the gods who are trying to lift you up, to help you connect to your destiny, your higher self, your relationship with God, however you want to look at it. And the first thing that sprang out to me on the Archontic row is, because I thought these were one card, it wasn't until I put them down I realised it was two cards. Hera and Heracles together. Now, that's a very interesting dynamic because let's be honest, even if you watched the old Hercules TV show, you will know they didn't get on. Not at all. Hera resented and tried to kill many times Heracles. And so there's this sense of a drama going on that almost that you are told to put up with Kaliach with endurance here, because there is an end that can be brought to it that will bring happiness. You simply have to use your wisdom to find out how to bring it to a close. I will say, not your job. Simple as that, not your job. It is not the wise thing to do to interfere. Even if you do see a way of whatever this drama is that's spilling over into your life, because with these two powerful personalities, that's not yours. That's not your drama. It's you are a bystander. You are a casualty. Collateral damage. That's the phrase I'm trying to look for. Collateral damage. that like two parts of a family that are at war with one another, and you get on with both of them, and that's what Garuda here is telling me. Here representing travel, so there's an inclination of just get yourself out of the blast radius, but also Garuda is famous for his eternal loyalty. So what I'm thinking is that you may realize, or you may know, that you are actually loyal to both parties here. So therefore, don't want to get involved. Don't blame you. But there is an option coming up now where you, hopefully, by being you, you can teach by example to a certain extent. Hecate with Crossroads here offers you the point of, right, are you continuing in this situation or not? End of story. Not are you bringing this situation to an end? Are you trying to destroy or kill this situation one way or another? Which one would assume, to stop you being stuck in the middle, is that you just pick a side. You're no longer in the middle then. But what Hecate is saying, when there's a crossroads, you've come down one of the roads and there's three ways you can go. So you could just walk away from the entire conflict, say, sort it out between yourselves, and go and be a more authentic you, whatever that means. So I'm assuming that this drama, this conflict, is stood in your way somehow. It has been preventing you from moving forward on something that you are wanting to move forward with. And your loyalty has maybe been preventing you from moving forward because, well, because it's an element of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Now, the loyalty that you are requiring here is accepting the loyalty to both parties. That knocks off two of those three roads left at the crossroads. So you've only got one left, that you go and do your own thing, where you go and be authentic, where you go and find that inner hero within yourself. Baba Yaga was not always a villain. Baba Yaga used to train heroes by being their adversary, but wasn't necessarily the evil child eater that she later got portrayed as. And that's not something that I'd normally think of with Baba Yaga, but that's what stuck into my head. Yeah, because it looks like there's some solution, some victory-oriented solution that is presented to you. Don't fall for it. Simple as that. Don't fall for it. There are more options than just ending a certain situation. Because this drama, let's be honest, it's rooted. You know, it has firm foundations on both sides, which makes me think it's been going on for quite some time. And there's only a certain amount of harvest that you can receive by putting up with it, or more to the point, letting it affect you. So there is this option of just walking away and saying, you two get on with it, have your own little territorial spat, whatever. I'm going to be over here doing my thing. Because there is a temptation here to, we've got the devil card, and I'm seeing, it's curious because Thanatos here is clarified by the Seven of Cups, saying that there's plenty of options. You don't just, have to kill it dead. But with the devil here underneath this crossroads, three things. Go and build your own structure, Capricorn energy. That you can be tempted into one of those two paths that is taking a side. Bad idea. Or you have the motivation. You have the motivation to go forward with whatever your plan is. And by that, you are teaching these two parties by example, if they take the time to look up from their argument and see what you're doing. And where I'm getting this from as well, obviously I've been getting that a lot from Hecate and Baba Yaga, but we have here Pele with transformation and Sekhmet with empowerment. So rather than disempowering either party that are rowing, empower yourself to go and do your thing. Be yourself somewhere out of the way of this drama or argument. Let's see what Perseus says, because that's the last because you will have support from your friends and maybe some form of gift from your friends that helps you move forward. That gift could come in many forms. It doesn't need to be wrapped up with a little bow. It could be the gift of time, the gift of a working space, the gift of somewhere else to go when this row is getting a bit too much to handle, where you can go and have your own peace and quiet. Because Nithaya here, representing spiritual wisdom. And it's the wisdom to know that you ain't going to solve this argument for them. Taking sides is a really bad idea. Quite possibly, these archontic energies are coming through people that you care for. And I imagine who care for you, but tend to get a bit carried away with this particular drama, whatever it is. So this, not that I'm speaking from experience. To be honest, I'm normally one of these two anyway. I feel sorry for some friends of mine, but it's well rooted. It's going to take time to unpick. And with that, the weird thing is, I feel really good about that King of Pentacles. So it's almost like that this rivalry, drama, argument, it's not just important to them because they want to be right. The actual interplay of it is really important for them. Whether that means that they are building the skills for something later in life, or it fills some form of emotional need for them that they haven't managed to address in a more healthy way. I don't know. Let them row. Let them row. Let them get on with it. Just don't be drawn into it. And don't be tempted to call their row to an end just because you know you have the ability to, when you also have got the ability to just walk off and do something else. This is the message here is pretty much walk off and do something else. Concentrate with your friends. See what gifts your friends bring you, whether that's a pearl of wisdom, a little bit of space, a working space, a day out, whatever it is. Just get out of the way of that nonsense. Something else that I see here. To be honest, that's everything that I'm seeing here, Scorpio. Now, I would have thought for your reading, it would be, this is your full moon. I would have thought there would have been a lot more into it. But all this is, the main thing that this is really saying is it's time for you to concentrate on you for a while. And whatever influence you're trying to exert on those two warring parties, they ain't going to listen. They're too busy warring. So go and do your own thing, and maybe you'll be showing them by example what else can be achieved. Okay, so if this means anything to you, Scorpio, please do comment down below. Obviously, I would like you to hit that like button and subscribe while you're here. 6 p.m. UK time, Saturday. Myself and David Fisher will be doing a live stream looking at the astrology of the moon. And this afternoon, I'm having some work done on my mouth, so I don't know how well I'll be able to talk. So it might be a pretty short live stream, but David can talk for the both of us. So, yeah, see you then. Cheers.